watching IGN Live at E3 2013. We know that you can't see a lot behind me right now, but trust me, I'm actually on the show floor. Up now, we have an interesting new horror game. It's time for Daylight.
As I live and breathe, Jared, how you doing? You're here to show me this Daylight game. In a nutshell, what is it?
Daylight is a next-gen Unreal 4 procedurally generated horror game.
Oh, well, there you go. Everybody run out right now and get it. It makes total sense.
Yeah.
What are you doing with horror that makes you so special? Because I tell you what, everybody sees this game, comes back like, oh, Daylight's great. Everybody, oh, Daylight's so good, it's this, that, and the other. Anthony Gallegos liked it so much he quit IGN and went to work for you.
Horror isn't scary if you know what's going to happen.
Sure.
So, from the experience, I mean, we have guys that worked on Fear, I worked on Fear, and the first time you hit that trigger that has something happen, scares you. Then you play it again, numbs you, and it's all about this completely dynamic world. So it's a very tough game to explain to people, and to really show in a video form, or even here at the convention, in the bright lights, everything's loud, and you're supposed to get scared. It's very, very difficult. Especially
so everyone at home, turn off your lights, get in front of the screen, we'll show you some right now, and go extra quiet, be nice and good for you.
Yeah, and so the idea of it being dynamic is every single time you press start, the world gets generated, the paths get generated, everything's completely different. I don't know what's going to happen with my own game.
Yeah.
And it's really
that must make
weird.
for fun demos.
Oh, it's really weird, and it's really cool because this was, originally it was a prototype to see if we can do it, and I was like, man, this is really cool, let's put it out, and we showed it at PAX, and everyone that touched it got really excited, and it was really cool, and imagine that, publishers started to chime in and call, and I was like, you know what, this is cool, but it can be way better, and the PlayStation became a factor, and we partnered up with Atlas, and so they're going to co-publish on the PlayStation 4 and the PC. But the big cool thing is, it's, as you can see it, it's not bloody, it's not gore, it's not monsters coming out.
Yeah.
It's very subliminal in some cases. Even so much as what we wanted to do with like the ghosts is when you walk into a dark room, the tricks your eyes play on yourself. We wanted to mimic a lot of that.
Yeah.
We're using, we're going to integrate RealD 3D, the 3D system that you see in movies now, to make it so if you have a 3D TV or 3D kit system, you'll be able to actually experience it in 3D, which is going to be really cool as well. So there's a lot of things that we're doing that we're really excited that will be very, very immersive. That's the big thing that we want to do.
Sure.
So much so that we want to just scare the living crap out of people.
Well, yeah. Well, thank you for that. That's exactly what I'm looking for.
I've actually we focus tested in a fairly big dark room, and it's been really interesting because even our devs don't know what's going to go on with it, so it's very scary, and occasionally I do hide under the desk behind it and sneak out and scare the guys.
Nice.
So,
I was going to say, that's how you get these kids.
It's screaming, and we need to do that. So it's really cool that we signed with Atlas, and what we were going to do were chapters, but now we're going to do it in one big game, and put it out in the first quarter of next year.
For folks watching, is it going to be download disc? What are they getting into?
It's most likely going to be a download. We're still kind of dialing that in. We are working extremely close with Sony on Blacklight, and we still don't know exactly what the prices or how everything's working.
Yeah, they won't nail that down. Come on, I had Shuhei Yoshida on the other day and would tell me nothing.
They know. I think they're just going to pepper it out over the rest of the
information. Yeah.
So it's great. It's very exciting. The PC is very, very strong.
Right.
And it's a completely different era with all companies having two consoles they're going to support, for another year or two.
Right.
The PC being extremely strong. PC companies like Alienware and all these other groups are coming out with great tech.
Yeah.
And so it's really an awesome time of the year. I mean, it's so different now.
You're talking about the different consoles and how it's an awesome time of year. Is it an awesome time to be a developer right now?
Yeah,
You figure you're making tech demos, and all of a sudden everybody wants that game.
Yeah, it really is. And the console announcement was a surprise to everyone.
Yeah.
And it was really interesting to see kind of both of them releasing and both of them revving their engines.
Sure.
And it's really cool to see that going, but also so many publishers now needing to fill the stables of all of these next-gen titles. And really, Daylight was because we worked really closely with Epic. We got Unreal 4 last year after GDC, and so we started messing around with it. And we made this thing, and it's just kind of exploded. It's kind of one of those really dream scenarios of making something cool and small, proving that it can work, and it just rolling out more and more and more. And the really exciting part for me is it's going to be released in Japan now as well.
Wow.
And not that many American games go backwards, especially non-huge IPs. And that's where we got a lot of inspiration. It was from Japanese horror movies, because it's totally different than American. It's not an axe murder or anything like that. It's very spiritual and very...
It's the little creak or the little movement you didn't expect.
That's exactly it. And with this game, every time it generates, it populates all of those things, those subtle things that we make, and it just goes through the entire world, and it's really cool, but really scary.
So for me as a player, when I sit down and get into it, what is the story? Is there a story? How am I getting? Why would I keep replaying it if I, blah blah?
Well, so
heads up. That's how you know I have a great question. When I just trail off and go blah blah blah.
The story of it is who you are and what this area is. If you play through it and you luck out and you get through without dying or anything like that, we want the player to kind of like, oh, what was that, or what were these illusions? We're not telling you everything in each playthrough. And so we want you to come back, you find audio files, you find all of these different elements. I mean, it's kind of like in System Shock. That was one of those things where you played it and you're like, that was fun, or if you wanted to, you can read everything, you can listen to everything about it and kind of get pulled into this universe. And that's what we're hoping that players will just quickly get on, or players will really dive into it, because the story's becoming extremely full. It's a very, very full story, and it's really kind of awesome what's happening with it.
So now you mentioned Japanese horror films being an inspiration. What else were you pulling from to make this?
A lot of research in just kind of old the macabre and
did you go stay in haunted houses?
No, but the writer that you guys might have heard of. What's her name?
Jessica Chobot.
That's right.
Another IGN person you stole.
Yep. She's actually a really good friend of mine, and last year she was talking about all these things she's working on.
Yeah.
And as soon as Daylight became Daylight, I don't have the time to write everything. We're still an indie studio. We're still a really small studio, but we've got Blacklight, we've got Daylight, we've got all these other projects. And so I asked her, because she's really into ghost stories and really messed up stuff.
Right.
And so it was a perfect scenario, and it was a perfect situation where she came on. She's written, so many different treatments of it. So much so that there were times where I had to go, okay, you need to pull back on that, because that's a little bit too messed up, lady.
You are going crazy.
Yeah,
I can't believe you're someone's mother now.
And it's really cool to see her breaking off and actually allowed to do this creative stuff, and it's been a really fun situation. My art director was a huge fan of hers when we first started working, and now he's deathly afraid of her because of the stuff that she's been writing.
Well, good. I'm glad that Jess... I mean, I've always been afraid of Jess. You never know what she's going to do, but I'm glad other people share that fear. You talked about it, you guys are an indie studio, and what's really crazy, and I'm dialing it locally to IGN, right, is you figure Journey, our game of the year last year, right? Then this year, earlier today, I was doing the Batman Arkham Origins demo. Now I'm here. You're my second indie guy, or my second indie guy of the day that I've been working with, or whatever. What's the future for indie game developers? We talk about THQ and all these people in the middle who fell away, and now you have AAA, and now you have indies, and it seems like at PlayStation 4 they come out and they want to focus on both.
The big thing about being an indie, and the hardest thing 5 years ago, was getting on disc, getting it in the store, getting the PR and marketing, getting in X, Y, and Z. And now you go to Sony, hey, I want to put a game on, and they'll let you.
Yeah.
Microsoft doesn't do that yet. Hopefully they'll change.
Yeah.
But the PC, you have Steam, you have all these other groups. The big thing that indies are desperately trying to learn and figure out is how to do their PR and marketing.
Yeah.
Because that's millions of dollars in some cases.
Sure.
A game like Blacklight, if it can stand up against some of the big guys, and a game like Daylight is going to be one of those interesting things, and it's really, Atlas has amazing PR and marketing, and that was a major factor of us joining up with them, was because I've known of every single Atlas game that's come out, and they do a great job, and it allows me to focus on making a game versus going on, crazy press tours or going to every single thing. And I've got a lot of really great indie guys that are doing a bang-up job, but they're now having to become this super, developer where they have to make a game, manage the studio, manage the team, make their deadlines, and then go to every single convention.
Yeah, right.
Go to every single deal, take it on the tour, and then hope to God that enough people see it because they can't buy banner ads, they can't buy commercials.
Right.
And that's the big thing is I think once indies are able to possess that part, then it's going to change. And I think that YouTube's a huge factor. It's a game changer in some ways.
And of course, IGN and Up at Noon. Greg Miller's always out
absolutely.
there. Tell him, Jared. Tell him right now. When's your game come out?
My game comes out Q1 2014.
It's called Daylight. It looks really scary. You should get it, Jared. Thank you so much for coming by.